Eau Rouge is one of those mythic corners. All the teams are lined up on that wall. Everybody's watching to see who's going to lift or who's going to carry the most speed through there. And for the drivers, you all know, you really judge each other because it's one of those measures of bravery. Long approach, you come out that hairpin, you make your gear changes, you get up to speed. You start hugging the pit wall, you try and get as much aerodynamic benefit from hiding behind the wall. But all you're doing the whole way down is measuring the car and getting yourself absolutely critically prepared for what's about to happen, because if you don't rock up to Eau Rouge with a very firm plan of what's going to happen, you land in trouble very quickly.
Hello and welcome to this round 6 of the Virtual Touring Car Cup run by Vtcc at Brands Hatch. This is round 6 out of 8. Today, December 20th, taking place at Brands Hatch. 3 races from the end, still the championship looking quite close together. As we have up the top, P1 and 2 being the 2 Celtic Bromance drivers of JP McKinley and Kiki Mack, an 11-point gap separating the 2 drivers. Following after being Chris Callaghan in 3rd place, only 29 points behind JP McKinley. In 4th, Andrew Whitehead, followed by McRae Williams. Finley Swarbrick follows after him in 6th. Carl Alden in P7, Matt Webb P8, Alice Hughes P9, and Byron Zimmerman P10. Here is the cars to be looking out for today as we head into this race at Brands Hatch. Some quite striking liveries I'm expecting to be back out there once again. The quite striking livery of Mark Holmes if he comes tonight, of the Ambition Racing number 15 car. Adam Davies for Team Viper number 12. Also, Andrew Whitehead of the Boosted Motorsport car number 40. Some quite vibrant colours going on across the entire grid, not just the 3 that I've mentioned there. Please keep in mind that some of our drivers do stream. I've put their links up on the screen now. Kiki Mack, Kev Straw and Finley Swarbrick racing in the AM lobby, I believe, with Aaron Large in the Pro lobby. King Kodiak is also streaming alongside in the Pro lobby. I am streaming yeah, I am streaming the AM lobby. So if you're joining us new for the series, this is the Virtual Touring Car Cup run by VRCC. This is a touring car series for Project Cars 2 on the PC platform. 8 events over 11 weeks from November to January. We are in December, 3 rounds from the end. Each event has 3 15-minute races with a 15-minute qualifying to begin with. The second race is then a random grid race, and race 3, I believe, is also a race with a 15-minute qualifying as well, but I'm not 100% sure if that's being run tonight. Pro and AM classes are split. This is the AM lobby. King Kodiak is streaming the Pro lobby. I would put a link up, but that was one thing that I forgot to do. So we're just waiting to head onto track now. Here is the calendar. The racing having started at Silverstone National, then going all the way over to Watkins Glen, Hockenheim, Bannockbury, which is the first race that I commentated for the series. Dubai International was 2 weeks ago, a race I sadly had to miss due to personal reasons, and here we are at Brands Hatch GP. Brands Hatch being quite a difficult circuit to me. This is the long version as well, which has all the woodland sector as well, Sector 2, and then also the start of Sector 3. Turn 1 up to Druids Corner is going to be a very hot place on lap 1. Turn 1 being quite primed for forcing drivers to make a mistake. I'm going to get a little track map, with Druids being the quite long hairpin, which can see drivers take up the inside as we are now starting to go into quali. I need to turn my game sound back on. There we go. Game sound is back on. That's very useful. Here we are watching Finley Swarbrick, the driver who is here tonight. I believe he wasn't here for Bannockbury. Apparently one to keep my eye on tonight, as apparently this kid has some pace. Here is also Matt Webb, number 17 car. Kiki Mack having not left the garage yet. Oh, and as I say that, he just leaves the garage for Celtic Bromance. Currently, I believe, our championship leader. If I can just grab the quickly updated. No, sorry, second in the championship. Teammate to JP McKinley, the number 7 and 77 car. 11-point gap between Kiki Mack and JP McKinley as we have a 16-car grid for today's race. 16 cars, lots of action in these cars as they stay close together on these circuits with the shorter race format allowing the pack to stay compressed for longer, really, as we'll be racing for 45 minutes overall, giving each driver 3 races of 15 minutes to fully allow them to push these cars to the limits, to push themselves to the limits, and finish as high up the order as they can. Every driver will be looking for that extra bit of time just to be able to accelerate themselves up the driver's standings, as we are 3 events from the end of the series, and there is still so much to play for. So here we are watching Kiki Mack as he is going to start his first lap. Yeah, we'll look on the roof camera and follow him as he comes for a lap now. So across the start and finish line you have the long sweeping downhill right-hander of turn 1. Getting the back out, make sure you don't overcook it because that gravel isn't really too long. Up towards Druid's perfect diving position here. A few lines you can take as well. You go in for the early apex and defend, you go in for a regular sort of trajectory into the corner, who knows. Turn 3, quite a harsh left-hander. You have a little bit of lattice runoff, but a very good place to start attacking. Now head up the left uphill, which then leads us down a long straight under the tunnel and the dip into the woodland. It is a bit sad. I used to know all of the corner names of Brands Hatch off by heart. But obviously over years I've not actually been racing this track in games anymore, having gone more the leagues. Oh Jesus Christ, Colin Dunn has just had every lap time invalidated. Oh dear. But yeah, I've been mostly racing leagues that have been running the European tracks, and sometimes it just means that I lose touch with the British tracks that I've learned to love through coming from the country and being here, as we now have the first times going through pole at the minute being 133.5 with the 2 Celtic Bromance cars coming across. Kiki Mack and JP McKinley taking P1 and 2, 130.739 for Kiki Mack, 132.016 for JP McKinley. That's definitely going to be an interesting one. Matt Webb down in P3, 1.841 off of Kiki Mack's pole time, with Kev Straw following after that with a 133.823. Finley Swarbrick in the standings afterwards with a 134.015, and P6 currently Adam Bent with a 134.209. We still have 10 minutes thereabouts left of of this first qualifying session, as I believe there will be 2 today. However, the drivers can easily put in faster times, I believe. A 130.739 for Kiki Mack, having really shown that if you push these cars hard around this circuit, you can get some really impressive lap times here. As more drivers start coming across the line, Finley Swarbrick not improving, and Chris Callahan going P4, and then Bent going, I think, P5 there. Carl Alden going into 5th position for 133.060. So the top end of the 133s right now for Carl Alden in the number 9 blue Megane. Matt Webb has moved up to P2 for 131.761, so splitting the 2 Celtic Bromance teammates off of the front row, relegating JP McKinley down to P3, but there's not a huge gap. McKinley could quite easily, I think, with a good line, get it back. Alice Hughes here, the TCS First Class Services vehicle, the number 4 car. You can see in the race feed as well, fair few drivers are getting penalised and lap times deleted for track limits. Adam Bent, Kiki Mapp and Matt Webb all falling foul of it in the past minute or so. And Alice Hughes coming across the line to go P7 133.260. Colin Dunn, the number 19 car. Quite a striking blue, green and white livery. Let's see what lap time Colin Dunn can get as he comes across the line. That was his out lap. Alden has pitted. JP McKinley has gone back up into P2 of a 131.738. Not a huge amount off of Matt Webb. Quickly look at the timings, you'll see Kiki Mack 130.739, JP McKinley 131.738, Matt Webb 131.761, Chris Callahan 131.920, Trev Hummer with 132.377, Carl Auden with a 133.06, Andrew Whitehead with a 133.08, Alice Hughes with a 133.260, Adam Bent down in P9 now for 133.312. Head Cooper Motorsport with a 133.5. Kev Straw 133.8. S. Morsey now coming into P13 with a 134.2. McRae Williams P14 136.9. Many people are now coming through lines here. You can see where drivers are on the track. There's quite a big train in front of JP McKinley. One driver letting him through. One of the blank livery cars, I believe. Got his teammate ahead as well. I've just dropped my phone on myself. Yep, and Kiki Mack lets his teammate JP McKinley go through. Ooh, looks like Morty has run off the track and has picked up some damage as well. Ooh, that's a unhappy looking McGann if I've ever seen one. Ted Cooper Motorsport. Yep. I believe he has recently moved down to the AM lobby. I'm going to expect so, seeing as he still has the pro markings on his kart. But that little issue that he had there at T1, even just coming out the pits, low speed or high speed, you can tell that, honestly, something, like any small mistake, and you can go straight off. So, Kiki Mack is still in the lead. Followed by, once it let him scroll up, Matt Webb, Chris Callahan and JP McKinley. Colin Dunn and Trev Hummer make up the top 6. 7th at this current moment in time is Finley Swarbrick with Carl Alden in P8. 9th and 10th goes to Andrew Whitehead and Alice Hughes, respectively, which has now changed. As I think Colin Dunn has just moved up into P5. But yes, one thing to be sort of expected here that, you know, I expect a lot of tracks that have a turn 1, such as Brands Hatch does, for there to maybe be some dramas, either at the start or in the very early stages of the race. Because remember, the drivers have to pull off 3 starts now cleanly. That's quite a few chances for there to be dramas into turn 1 up towards Druids. So it would definitely be interesting to see how that goes on. Because T1 really is deceptive. When I last drove it, I remember I was in a front-wheel drive car, and the turn just wanted to drag the front of the car towards the barrier, and it was quite difficult to get it through, especially when you haven't got much wiggle room as well. If you're running too wide, you know, your room starts becoming very limited very quickly. Here is Trev Hummer, the number 13 BMW. Going for a bit of a slide. Pull that right on string. Oh, my game has just decided it wants to tab out. There we go. Thank you for that. Project Cars, always so happy to cooperate with me, this game is. Don't believe we've had any changes to the top 10. One driver I've been told to watch as well, Andrew Whitehead, having apparently put in a good performance last week. There he is in the number 40 boosted Motorsport BMW. Quite a unique livery, quite an easy one to spot out amongst the pack, and yep, not disappointing whatsoever as he puts in a 131.8. Rear wheel drive BMW, maybe starting to come into its own a little bit. Other drivers I have been told to keep an eye on has been Finley Swarbrick, Chris Callahan and McRae Williams. However, every driver so far in the both races that I have commentated have put in, honestly, some quite noteworthy moves, quite noteworthy battles. Even in Bannockbrae, really, a track where the pack split up quite quickly, there was still some very unexpected moments. Damage is back on for this race as well. I'm not sure what percentage it's at, so that doesn't really help me very much, but there is now damage back on, so drivers have to be careful about punting their cars into each other. No. JP McKinley has moved back up into second place of 130.9. I'm sorry, yeah, 130.946. Qualifying is now completed, so we're waiting for all the drivers to now come back across the line. Oh, just caught Kev Straw there, going off on a really interesting bit of that corner to go off on. I will be honest. Oh, game, stop trying to make me quit the lobby. And then there, the number, I think, 89 car, number 69 car, number 69 car. This is lap. Alice Hughes also going to finish a lap. Colin Dunn and JP McKinley as well, actually going to finish around a lap. But looks like the first race might be a Celtic Romance 1-2. Front row lockout for this team. Obviously, both drivers putting in quite a good set of performances, running first and second in the Drivers' Championship for the AM series, so that just shows something, really. You wouldn't be that high up the order without being able to put in these performances in quali and the race. There's a BMW in the background going absolutely mental. Kevin Dunn, Alice Hughes coming across the line. JP McKinley soon after. Oh, and the qualifying session is over. So the lineup is Kiki Mack in P1, JP McKinley follows in P2, Mal Webb in P3, Chris Callahan in 4th, Andrew Whitehead in 5th, Finley Swarbrick in 6th, Colin Dunn 7th, Trev Hummer 8th, McRae Williams 9th, 10th is Adam Bent, 11th is Carl Alden, 12th is Alice Hughes, 13th is Kev Straw, 14th is Ted Cooper Motorsport, 15th is Morty, 16th is Adam Viper, 17th Tobias Eriksson. Oh, I don't want to see the profile of Kiki Mack. Stop it. So we'll just be waiting for the race session to begin. So we can get underway with race 1. So here we are on the starting grid. We'll be beginning any second now. 8 will probably be the one that we'll want to watch. Try to get as much of the pack in as we can as possible. We're still waiting? Might be still waiting. Let's get on the way. I don't see any red or green lights. So here we are, waiting on the grid for the first race of the evening. Race 1 out of 3. Keep in mind the second race will be a random grid race, I believe. Oh, we're sinking. And we're away. It looks like a bad start from Kiki Mack. Webb gets ahead of him as we run down into turn 1. Andrew Whitehead moving on to T4, and one of the Celtic Bromance cars is off. Is that? I'm not sure who that was, but I did see one of them go off there into T1. JP McKinley has gone off into T1. Finley Swarbrick already under attack from Chris Callahan into T3. Andrew Whitehead having made it up to T2, with Kiki Mack following quite closely behind. A few drivers too wide here as we head up into T4. It's almost a 4-car battle here for P2. Kiki Mack having moved up the outside of Andrew Whitehead. However, Finley Swarbrick is looking on the rear of both of them. Heading into T5, having to defend now is Andrew Whitehead. Very close. That McGann is up his rear, up his bumper with the McGann of Chris Callahan not very far behind as they go too wide. All still there. Andrew Whitehead gets forced off the track. He hasn't spun. He goes back out. He goes back out, takes Colin Dunn, Tobias Eriksson, and who's that as well? Someone else went off. Not sure. It was a pink car. McRae Williams. 3 cars taken off already. So not a great start for Andrew Whitehead, Colin Dunn, JP McKinley, or McRae Williams there. Top 4 currently. Currently Matt Webb, Kiki Mack, Chris Callahan and Finley Swarbrick. Oh, there's another crash down at T1. We catch it in the background. Adam Viper. Oh, a lot of damage on the BMW. The boot is gone. The bumper's gone. The boot's gone. The spoiler's gone. The bumper's hanging off. Here we are. Trev Hummer on the back of Adam Bent for P5. You can also see ahead Finley Swarbrick on the back of Callahan for P3. BMW versus McGann and McGann versus McGann. Colin Dunn on the back of Tobias Eriksson defending into the corner. Making sure Colin Dunn has to step back a little bit. Also, I think someone else who has come from Pro Lobby. I'm guessing so, as he has Pro. That's Ted Cooper Motorsports there, having gone off. Looks like a little bit of damage to his car. Finley Swarbrick still P3. We're going to stick with this Colin Dunn versus Eriksson battle. Here as Ted goes into the pits, so clearly the damage needs repairing. See Andrew Whitehead behind as well. Just Tobias Eriksson locks up into the first corner, almost comes back on and collects Dunn, but Dunn makes the most of that mistake and takes the position now up to P11. Finley Swarbrick now actually fighting on the back of Adam Bent. Still McGann versus McGann. JP McKinley on the back of Kev Straw, having had a lot of, looks like a fair bit of damage as they went into turn 1. What we saw really was him go backwards, not sure if he got punted up the rear or lag, or even if he collected the wall at the end. As rain as well starts to fall onto the circuit, that's going to really inhibit some drivers. Will some people go onto wetter compound tyres if these cars have them? Will drivers stick with it? Who knows? It's a hard gamble. Here we can also see Chris Callahan chasing the back of Kiki Mack. 1.2 second-ish gap, 1.15. Around there. Finley Swarbrick also still chasing the back of Adam Bent as Chris Callahan gets the rear quite loose. Now you can see the rain is starting to quite heavily fall. Already spray coming off of the vehicles. Some drivers already having accrued penalties. Chris Callahan, Finley Swarbrick, Kev Straw having got penalties. Kev Straw already a 21-second penalty. Finley Swarbrick thinking that this is a Subaru with that bit of sideways action there. Chris Callahan, I think, had an issue. Did he have a crash with Kiki Mack? Oh, I think these cars are now starting to struggle in the rain. Yeah, you can see in the background, Mortimer there going sideways. I think these cars are very much struggling with this rain now. Yeah, Adam Viper pitting in. Ted going sideways, more cars sideways there. Kev Straw, Colin Dunn. Oh jeez, it's a free car battle. Yeah, going very slow, be smart. Nope, Tobias Eriksson almost going off the track. Very good battle here in the wet, as you can see them moving the tidal wave. Adam Bent has moved up a position. Where are they? There they are. Finley Swarbrick, JP McKinn, Kiki Mack, and Adam Bent as Kiki Mack goes sideways. Matt Webb in the pits first. That's going to give him the advantage. What a bizarre first few laps. JP McKinley, oh, Mortimer there going off. Colin Dunn trying to make up the position, which he has. Oh, JP McKinley retiring to the pits, as well as Alice Hughes. Yeah. Adam Bent deciding to have stayed out. Okay, that's gonna be a very interesting one there, Adam. Colin Dunn staying out as well. Carl Alden and McRae Williams, are they going to come in? No, they're not. They're going to brave it. And so is Ted Cooper Motorsport as well. Trev Hummer coming in. Buzz Ericsson's braving it. As now the cars that did switch tyres are starting to come back out into the fray. There is Kiki Mack. Yep, you can see all the pit crews working there in the left-hand side. Kev Straw, I think, also staying out as he goes off the track. This has been a very interesting first few laps, as we have actually gone past the halfway mark. Andrew Whitehead having pitted, so has Trev Hummer. There's pit crew clothing seeming to be in witness protection today. Finley Swarbrick against Tobias Ericsson. Easy round the outside move. I don't think Ericsson moved on to wet compound tyres. I think he's still on slicks. But that's going to give him a bit of a disadvantage there. Kiki Mack going around the outside. Kev Straw going past JP McKinley. But is JP McKinley going to fight back? I don't know. Yes, he is. Kev Straw getting the back out. JP McKinley pretty quickly dipping up the inside there. Kiki Mack now on the back of McRae Williams, someone else who stayed out. Callahan has also gone past Tobias Ericsson. Alan Viber, having glued the new rear end onto his BMW, goes up the back of Trev Hummer's BMW. So classic BMW driving there. Some drivers, I think Trev Hummer is taking it very tentatively around the circuit. We see three cars there. Carl Alden, Kiki Mack and Finley Swarbrick. It's T1, the spray everywhere. Swarbrick goes off, giving the position to Kiki Mack. McRae Williams is somewhere. There's Chris Callahan on the back of Carl Alden. Oh, Carl Alden defending down the inside. Is he gonna keep it? No, he's not. Chris Callahan going around the outside there into T3. Finley Swarbrick now fighting back against Kiki Mack. The gap under half a second. The wet weather, it also looks like a dry line is starting to form. As well, you can see a change of colour on the track. Kiki Mack going off, but getting back on in front of Finley Swarbrick. Still about half a second gap, hitting it over that curve there as they head into this very nice on camber left-hander. I love taking this corner because you can just throw the car into it. Colin Dunn ahead as well. I think another driver who braved to stay out, but is it going to pay off? Oh, as Kiki Mack looks up the inside. Yep, both drivers seem to just tuck their way through inside past Colin Dunn. Yep, the move gets finished. Trev Hummer in the pits. Finley Swarbrick still just on the bumper of Kiki Mack there. McGann versus McGann. So the overall deciding factor is the driver. You don't want to go on to the wet line too much if you can help it either. The dry line will always be faster. You have to pick where you're taking your move very carefully. Chris Callahan having got past Colin Dunn. Here is still the battle. Finley Swarbrick on the back of Kiki Mack, with Chris Callahan slowly closing in behind. They head into the Woodland section. You can now quite happily see the fact that the spray that the cars are kicking out is much less than previous laps. Still hitting some bits of wet track, both drivers are. Either in an attempt to attack or an attempt to defend. But you can quite easily see the fact that Finley Swarbrick is keeping it to the dry line as much as possible. Kiki Mack having to defend as well, which sort of really means that he'll get slowed down on that wet line. Definitely be a something I to ask him about. Here is a three-car train led by Carl Alden with JP McKinley behind. S. Mortimer, number 16 car. Or too wide now into the last corner. Mortimer and McKinley. Mortimer gets pushed. Gets forced to take the long way around, which has meant a gap has been able to form. JP McKinley going to try into T1. Yes, he is braking hard there. Yep, that's the move done. JP McKinley up into P8. As we snap back to the battle against Kiki Mack and Finley Swarbrick. Have a cough there to clear my throat. Spray from these cars as they head down the straight, now almost non-existent. The spray around the turns as well, getting I was about to say getting a lot less, but then a tidal wave just washes over the front of Kiki Mack. Sorry, not Kiki Mack. Finley Swarbrick's McGann. This is the battle for the podium. Might be P3, but it's a podium all the same. Matt Webb ahead. They're finishing a lap with Adam Bent in the lead, having just gone off the circuit. That's an interesting one to think about. And a bit further back, the battle is still waging. Finley Swarbrick not letting up at all against Kiki Mack, making sure that he knows that he is there. Oh, getting very close on the back of that McGann. Is he going to have the inside into T4? Yes, he is. Is he going to make the move work? That's the question, as they're still too wide as they exit down the straight. Kiki Mack getting ahead for now, but is there going to be enough of a gap for Finley Swarbrick to make a move into the corner? No, there isn't. Not yet. Staying behind for this little bit as Kiki Mack goes wide. Finley Swarbrick having to turn the wheel a little bit to avoid a collision as he came back onto the circuit. Oh. Mortimer also on the back of Carl Alden. Andrew Whitehead on the back of Adam Viper. This is the battle we are going to stick with for now. Finley Swarbrick on the back of Kiki Mack. Is Kiki Mack going to hold it to the finish line? Yes, he is. P3 for Kiki Mack. P4 for Swarbrick, but after penalties, Swarbrick has been promoted into P3. That's P3 for Finley Swarbrick and P4 for Kiki Mack. What a first race. Kev Straw having finished a 21-second time penalty to his name. So, Kiki Mack had a 3-second penalty where Finley Swarbrick had a 2-second penalty. So in reality, Kiki Mack would have needed to be a second ahead of Finley Swarbrick to be able to take P3. But he didn't. And Adam Bent, someone I think who stayed out as well during the wave of pit stops that drivers appeared to have taken, actually stayed out. And yeah. And actually went to take the victory in this first race. Wow, that was really interesting race there with the first set of.
Oh my god.
Adam, so that was definitely
I don't
something.
believe it. I really don't.
Did you brave the dry tyres as the rain came down?
Yes. So originally I was meant to pit at the same time as Matt. I shouldn't have been in this position. I was ready to pit in P5, and I got a message on the radio, obviously the AI going, "Oh, by the way, your pit box is full." And I was like, you know what? I don't think there's enough time for me to jump back in the pits and keep this lead. And yeah, I mean, I've got to say, Matt, right at the end, 2 seconds off me. He was pushing so hard. But yeah, my first win, absolutely ecstatic.
And how was the McGann in the wet with the slicks? I'm guessing it was quite a bit slippery before the dry line started to form.
I mean, I was just watching everybody go off, and I do a lot of spare time rallying and playing with rallycross cars. So this was no different. It was just the wheel was just back and forth 24/7, honestly. But I mean, I've got to say, well done to everybody else. I mean, those who stayed on the slicks, definitely, I feel like it was the right call in the end. And yeah, I'm not really sure what else to say.
Well, thanks for that. Matt, P2. Were you just trying to push as hard as you can to get onto Adam?
Yeah, but I'm normally terrible in the wet, so I'm pretty happy with that, actually.
Talking about P2, did you stay on the slicks, or did you actually go to the wets?
No, as Adam said, I actually stole his pit box and changed the tyres. Yeah, I just didn't have the pace in the wet. I'm terrible in the wet, so I'm happy.
Yeah, moving up to second place. Obviously, P1 and P2, both very good things to get in a free race format.
Definitely. I mean, considering how normally I'm a bit further back on the grid, normally I'm leading the top 10, as in like at the rear end of the top 10. So to be here now talking to you as a race winner, it's just so great. Yeah. I feel so ecstatic
that's
right
both
now.
of our first podiums,
yeah.
I think, this year.
First podium, and Brands Hatch, what a circuit to get it at.
Yeah, it's the rain seemed to really play for you two in this one. Not sure if there's any more rain forecast races, but
unfortunately not. Otherwise, I'd be absolutely ecstatic for these next couple races. But I think I'm just going to take this confidence from this race, and hopefully I can run it up with another podium or even a win. So yeah.
Always good. Well, I'm not sure when we're going to move into the next race. I'm guessing we're just waiting for.
Shouldn't be too slow. They're just waiting on us, I believe. So I'll jump back.
I think they're changing some stuff as well. So thank you for coming and talking to me, you two. So your race winner and second place, Adam Bent and Matt at the same time as well. Thank you for talking to me. Maybe if everything keeps going well, you'll be back.
Hopefully. Thank you.
So what an interesting first race that was. As you heard, Adam Bent, normally, apparently, according to himself, leading the rear end of the top 10 to actually come for his first win. Definitely played into his hands there. Matt Webb as well, P2. So we'll have to keep an eye on those two as we head into the next race. Finley Swarbrick coming in for P3 as well, so there's many things that can happen around Brands Hatch, a magical circuit in my opinion, so let's hope, as I'm sure it will be, that the rest of the racing goes on just the same as this, while no random rain races remain tonight. I'm sure there's still going to be a lot of drama and quite a few battles tonight as well. Me to shout over. So what we're doing now is just waiting for everyone to ready up for the next race. Race 2 out of 3, I believe it is the random grid race as well, so we'll see how that goes. I believe it's random grid race. There's no way that I can really check, otherwise I would. Yep, 15-minute random grid race, just got confirmation, so it's going to be very interesting to see where drivers start. Celtic Bromance drivers, Andrew Whitehead, race winner Adam Bent, as well as second place Matt Webb, both taking maiden victory and podium, we believe as well. Two Celtic Bromance drivers, JP McKinley and Kiki Mack, not having an amazing race, I don't think they would say, finishing P4 and I think P7 or P8 respectively. As we now start to get the countdown. Also, a reminder to viewers that this entire video will be made available on my YouTube channel after the end of the stream, about an hour or two. After the end of the stream, it goes up at That Husky on YouTube as well. So you can rewatch all the action from this race on the replay that will be over there. So here we are on the grid. Adam Bent lines up in first place with Ted Cooper Motorsport P2, McRae Williams P3, Kiki Mack P4, Matt Webb P5, JP McKinley 6th, Adam Viper in 7th, Tobias Eriksson in 8th, Alice Hughes in 9th, Chris Callahan in 10th, Mortimer in 11th, Andrew Whitehead 12th, Finley Swarbrick in 13th, Colin Dunn 14th, Kev Straw 15th, Carl Alden in 16th, and Trev Hummer rounding off the grid in 17th. Very interesting to see how the reverse grid makes this race play out. Especially the first few laps. First few minutes will soon be underway for another 15 minutes of close, intense racing at the Vtcc AM lobby ran by the Vtcc community. Here we go, sinking once again. And we're away. Adam Bent looks like he gets a decent start. There's already a crash behind. That's number 77 car. JP McKinley. Did he stall? Did he not have a good start? Is he not here? I'm not sure. as Ted Cooper Motorsport gets second place, but he has to go round the outside as Druids, as Adam Bent is there. They get contact, front bumper to door, but that means that the red Megane of Ted from the 76 car gets the head out of the first few corners in the lead, followed by Adam Bent, who's very much so looking to start the fight back. Kiki Mack behind. JP McKinley has retired. Finley Swarbrick, fast driver now on the back of Andrew Whitehead. McGann versus BMW, rear wheel versus front wheel drive. Tobias Eriksson is on the rear of Kev Straw behind as well. Kev Straw looks like he stayed ahead. Kiki Mack side by side with Ted. Ted Cooper goes round. All drivers are having to swerve. No one seems to get very caught up in that. A few drivers having to take evasive action there. Alice Hughes, P4, running up the rear of Matt Webb, Adam Bent and Kiki Mack. Also see behind Adam Whitehead, Andrew Whitehead, named as Finley Swarbrick goes off. Andrew Whitehead gets sideways, hits the outside, hits the grass, but keeps it going. Finley Swarbrick coming off worst out of the two mistakes, now dropping down to 13. Adam Bent chasing down the back of the Celtic Bromance car of Kiki Mack. I think Kiki Mack being P2 in the championship there, so Adam Bent clearly having gained some confidence from his previous race win. Now wanting to chase down Kiki Mack and get the position. Carl Auden goes off in the back. There might be a little bit of damage there. Tobias Eriksson going round. Just going round him, really. But Carl Auden catches up. Not sure why he gave the position back so readily. Not 100% sure. It didn't look dodgy. Alice Hughes in P4. Sorry, P3. So the top three at this current minute in time is Kiki Mack, Adam Bent and Alice Hughes. Mal Webb as well chasing the back. Okay, that's a quite interesting line. I was going to say he was chasing the rear, but he's not now. Colin Dunn starting to chase the rear of Andrew Whitehead. However, he has McRae Williams behind as well. Ooh, Adam Bent is still on the rear of them again, driven by Kiki Mack, his teammate having retired from the race at the start. Not sure if he wasn't there for the beginning or what happened. Now there's one Celtic Bromance car running. Andrew Whitehead gets a lot of oversteer there by the looks of it. Nose into the wall, allowing Colin Dunn and McRae Williams to get past. Chris Callahan now catching up the back of Alice Hughes. Can Hughes defend from Chris Callahan? Oh, doesn't look like it as Hughes gets a bit out of shape into the last corner. Drag race now down the front straight. Chris Callahan has the inside line, but he goes very wide, getting a lock-up, holds on to the position. Adam Bent very much still chasing the back of Kiki Mack. Who has a 2-second time penalty as well. Adam Bent not having a time penalty, Kiki Mack having a time penalty. Callahan having gotten the overtake. Maria, Alex Hughes, sorry, I don't know where I got the name Maria from. Now almost about to be coming under fire from Matt Webb. Adam Bent, all he really has to do is keep the gap under 2 seconds between himself and Kiki Mack, and he would have won 2 for 2 so far this race. Kev Straw looks like he's got a lot of damage. Front bumper, rear bumper and bonnet seem to have been stripped off. So that's an interesting one. Matt Webb, P5, finished second place on the podium at the last race, having pitted for wet tyres now. No need for a pit stop strategy whatsoever as the rain is not coming at all. As Alice Hughes takes a bit of an interesting line into the first corner. Both drivers having a second of time penalty, so really they're on even Stevens with each other. If we look down the grid, Finley Swarbrick also has a 4-second time penalty. Colin Dunn, McRae Williams having 1 second and 2 seconds respectively. I was here behind Colin Dunn on the back of Trev Hummer. Adam Bent is also still chasing JP McKinley. He has 8 minutes now to keep. Oh, as JP McKinley gets a lot of body roll there. Seems like he's started to lose the car but held on to it. Kev Straw pitting in. Yeah, that McGann is quite unhappy looking at this current minute in time. Matt Webb still chasing the back of Alice Hughes. Colin Dunn also still chasing the back of Trev Hummer. Andrew Whitehead fighting Carl Auden with Adam Viper at the rear as well. 3-car battle here for P9. I think that's McGann versus 2 BMWs. Yes, it is. There's probably a joke there somewhere, but I am not inappropriate enough to make it. As Adam Bent picks up the 2-second time penalty, Kiki Mack having his extended to 4 seconds. Leaving them very much even Stevens as they were a minute ago. Kev Straw coming out of the pits into a train of cars. Or that makes Tobias Eriksson have to take a very interesting line. I think he's held it on the track. Yes, he has indeed. Matt Webb still chasing the back of Alice Hughes. Both drivers very much pushing it. They're pushing both of their McGanns as well, 2 McGann drivers. So the difference is the driver and the setup, if they have one, to their absolute limits. Also to people that are new to Project Cars 2. If their number is red, it means they have a time penalty. I will occasionally quickly check back and see. Adam Bent now having a 1 second advantage over Kiki Mack. Might not be able to finish in first place unless Kiki Mack grabs another time penalty. Alice Hughes and McRae Williams 2 seconds each. Matt Webb, Colin Dunn a second each, as well as Tobias Eriksson a second and Finley Swarbrick at 4-second time penalty. Trev Hummer fighting onto the back of McRae Williams. BMW versus McGann, here we go into T1. Trev Hummer gets the inside, but McRae Williams spots the gap to swoop in and defend and takes it nicely. Andrew Whitehead deciding that Isubu is where he wants to be. Ed Cooper Motorsport on the back of Finley Swarbrick, also getting a very big trick. Chris Callahan now fighting on the back of Adam Bent. This could actually be a win for Chris Callahan. All in the balance here. Matt Webb still chasing Alice Hughes with 4.5 minutes remaining. Time is very quickly running out. As well, viewers and listeners, if you're just listening, after this race there'll be a 15-minute quali, followed by another 15-minute race to round us off for the evening. Chris Callahan within 1.5 seconds of Adam Bent. If he stays as it is now, Chris Callahan will be taking P2. Matt Webb has also taken a time penalty getting past Alice Hughes. 2 seconds apiece they both have now. Three minutes, 20 seconds remaining on the clock for the drivers. Alice Hughes still going to start powering down on the back of Matt Webb. Not going to want to give that position up. Adam Bent has gone off the track. There, that has raised his time penalty to 4 seconds. This means that I think Chris Callahan at the end of the race will be taking P2 in the podium. Kiki Mack seemed to have got a good start from 4th on the grid to just accelerate away with a race win. Honestly, not sure if there's much that I can actually ask him. Here, he got a good start and just sort of kept that pace going as Chris Callahan gets a bit uneven there. Still on the back of Adam Bent. Colin Dunn now on the back of Alice Hughes. A 1 second time penalty. So 3 second advantage over Alice Hughes. If he holds this position, he might even get P4. Oh, as we hear some redlining there from Alice Hughes' cutter, I think that was. Finley Swarbrick has moved up to P12. Adam Bent has been overtaken by Chris Callahan. Has that allowed... there is enough of a gap here as this looks like it's going to be the final lap for Kiki Mack, who looks like he's going to be coming through to take race 2. Adam Bent still attacking Chris Callahan. He needs to extend the gap between himself and Matt Webb to stay on the podium, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen this race. Having won the first race, as yep, goes off the track again. That might be an extension of the penalty. Yes, it is. Now up to 6 seconds. But holding P2 and Colin Dunn on the back of Alice Hughes. Here looks to be, unless anything majorly interesting happens, Kiki Mack, winner of race 2 by the look of it. Adam Bent has got another time penalty for track limits, taking his total up to 7 seconds. Kiki Mack here coming round the second to last corner. Under the final bridge as he comes to the last corner of Brands Hatch. to take the run to the finish line to win race 2. Race 2 goes to Kiki Mack for Celtic Bromance. Second place on the road, looking like it's Adam Bent, but we're not sure what's going to happen when penalties get applied. Adam Bent comes across the line. Chris Callahan moves up into P2. Matt Webb moves up into P3. Colin Dunn P5, Alice Hughes P6. McRae Williams gets relegated to P8. Trev Hummer moves up to P7. Carl Alden stays P9. Andrew Whitehead P10. Adam Viper P11. Finley Swarbrick looking like he's going to stay P12, but it could change as Ted Cooper Motorsport comes across the line. No, Swarbrick stays P12. Ted P13, Ericsson P15. Mortimer hasn't finished yet, and it looks like Kev Straw is going to come along to round off the grid in 16th position. Very interesting race there. Adam Bent started out strong, was on the back of Kiki Mack, but ended up taking P4. So the top 3 here now today was Kiki Mack, Chris Callahan, and Matt Webb for race 2 in the AM lobby. We'll see if any of the drivers join me for a quick interview. If not, then it's up to them. But we've got one, and we've got the second. Hello, Kiki Mack and Chris Callahan.
Hello.
P1 and 2. So, Kiki, I'll start with you, because I'll be honest, it's going to be a bit shorter, because it just seemed you got the start of starts and ran away with it.
Yeah, the penalties made it a lot tougher than I thought it was going to be. I ended up picking up 2 seconds quite early on, so it was quite a challenge to try and get ahead of Adam and pull the gap, but eventually he picked up enough penalties for me to be pretty safe.
Yeah, race 1 not being your best of races that I've seen so far. I think the rain might have caused some issues, but going through to win the second race, which is going to help in the championship fight against your teammate, isn't it?
Definitely, especially when he had his wheel didn't work off the start line, so that's why he may have caused some issues at the start. His wheel just wasn't working, so he didn't get to go anywhere and had to quit out. But yeah, rain was very last minute. We were expecting light rain for the entire race, and then last minute we're told, oh, it's going to be overcast, into light rain, into overcast again, so everyone was a bit caught off guard there. So mix of strategies between some pitting, some staying out, and yeah, we ended up picking up 4th, I think, after a last-second penalty as well. Again, as penalties on this track are pretty easy to pick up.
Thank you for that, mate. I have actually no more questions. It just seemed that everything sort of fell away that race. So I'll move on to Chris. Chris, you were in a battle with Adam Bent actually for quite a lot of the race. Were you pushing him, or was it a case of you knew he had penalties so you could relax a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit of both. He complained on the voice chat he didn't like the tyres getting too warm, so whether he was just pushing too much, and Alice and Matt were behind me with penalties as well, so I could just sort of sit there, not cruise, because I didn't know if Kiki would pick up any more, but he didn't. Somehow I got none, which is my first, well, that's the first for me. But yeah, I started, I think it was 11th, so I'm pretty happy with second.
Yeah, for sure. Random grid races always throwing a spanner in the works for at least one person, really, aren't they? It's just a case of, keep your head down, push, and just see what you get. Pretty
much, yeah. I last week in Dubai started 14th, and I finished first, but I had a 1 second penalty, and Andrew Whitehead was 7/10 behind, so I lost out on the win by about 3/10. So yeah, it's a tough one to take there, but hopefully we've still got race 3 to go. And it should be dry for the rest of the round now, which is good. So, and
going into race 3, do you think you're going to be competitive there? Are you hoping to pick up another podium into race 3?
Yeah, I'd love to. Depends if JP's got his wheel fixed, because he sort of just died on the line, and I hit him, but I don't think I took any damage because the car felt fine. But he shouted out just a bit too late. Not that he could do anything anyway, but yeah. Shame for JP, and I'm not sure what I do for the championship either for Kiki and JP.
It's going to, I think it's going to hot the championship up a little bit there, really. But thank you for coming and talk to me, and Who knows? You might be back at the end of the next race.
Hopefully, we'll see. All right, cheers. Thank you.
Yeah. So that was our race winner, Kiki Mack, and second place of my mind just went completely blank there. Chris Callahan. Word. So race 3 will be a 15-minute quali, followed by the final 15-minute race of the night. The driver championship standings are going to be looking very tasty at the end of this. Obviously, any discrepancies or any grievances that drivers have with anyone else during the race, be it a bad move or someone crashing someone else out, will obviously be looked at by the admins of the series. They do a very good job at looking through during the week, seeing what discrepancies and what complaints have come in, looking at it from every angle that they have available, and making a good level-headed decision about what to do next. So hopefully, without further ado, we will be moving into the next race. Also, remember, join me on January 3rd for the first race of 2020 that I will be commentating, and also I think the first race in this series for 2020 as well. Well, yeah, it will be January 3rd. Sportsline Sugo, a track I love driving. Never seen it driven in touring cars, seen it in open wheels many times. And round 8, taking us to Donington Park, will be January 10th. For the final race of the season. Who knows? As things seem to be going at the minute, the drivers' standings, the last race could be a championship decider between many drivers. Hopefully we should be moving into the race soon. I'm just going to quickly jump onto this camera because it looks a lot better. Oh, and literally the second I do that, it loads into the race. Thank you so much. There. I'm going to take a quick 5-minute voice break during the qualification just to get my voice back, have a drink and stay hydrated. On the screen will be the timings and whichever car I click randomly to follow, and we'll be back maybe before the start of the race, maybe at the start of the race for the full commentary of the final race. For people who are wondering, race 1 win went to Adam Bent, race 2 win went to Kiki Mack, second place in the first race went to named went to Matt Webb, and second place in the second race went to Chris Callahan. And we are back. 4 minutes and 4 seconds remaining in quali. Kiki Mack in first place, putting in the pole time of a 1:30.629. McRae Williams following in P2 of a 1:31.021. P3, JP McKinley, 1:31.4. In fourth is Chris Callahan, also at 1:31.4. In fifth is Finley Swarbrick with a 1:31.6. P6, Carl Alden, 1:32.07. Seventh place, Alice Hughes, 1:32.1. Ninth is Colin Dunn, 1:32.2. 10th is Adam Bent, 1:32.4. 11th, Andrew Whitehead, 1:32.9. Tobias Eriksson, P12, 1:33.2. Ted Cooper Motorsport, 13th, 1:33.5. 14th, Trev Hummer. 15th, Adam Viper. 6th, Mortimer. 17th, Kev Stroll. To his left, McRae Williams, mid-pack really throughout the first two races. Let's see what he can pull off here. If he starts in P2, it's going to be a very, very interesting race for him. The two Celtic Romance cars, first and third respectively, Kiki Mack and JP McKinley. JP McKinley, as we heard, having a wheel issue right on the start of the race, which caused him to not be able to start the race. A bit of bad luck there that would really allow the gap between himself and his teammate Kiki Mack to close up, the gap being only 11 points, I believe. I'm going to just quickly get clarification on that. Yep, the gap being 11 points between JP McKinley and Kiki Mack before the results of today's races are added in. Chris Callahan in P3, 29 points behind JP McKinley, could be very close to the front runners as well, even closer than he currently is. .40 seconds remaining on the clock. Timer has run out, a minute and 110 seconds to get back to the finish line. Quite a few drivers in the pits already, having not been able to start a flying lap. JP McKinley having dropped down to P4 now. Andrew Whitehead moving up into P3 at the current moment. Others could all change. Kiki Mack P1 in the pits. McRae Williams there coming past. Pit entry now to come across the line to finish his quali. 1:31.021. Trev Hummer, Ted Motorsport coming across the line. Colin Dunn going very slowly. We've finished. Andrew Whitehead coming around the last turn now. JP McKinley not improving, staying P4 at the minute. Across the line comes Andrew Whitehead. Doesn't look like he improves. So, as it stands, first place, Kiki Mack, followed by McRae Williams, Andrew Whitehead, JP McKinley, Chris Callahan, Colin Dunn, Finley Swarbrick, Matt Webb, Carl Alden, Alice Hughes, Adam Bent, Trev Hummer, Kev Straw, Tobias Eriksson, Ted Cooper Motorsport, Adam Viper, and Mortimer. Sean Morton. So we're just going to wait for the race session to begin. For the final race of the evening here at round 6 of the Virtual Touring Car Cup in Project Cars 2, run by the VRCC community. Matt Webb starting P8, Chris Callahan P5, and Whitehead P3, Kiki Mack in first, JP McKinley P4. 5 drivers that have put some quite standout performances so far in tonight, along with Adam Bent getting his first win as well. This is going to be a very interesting race. This is it. The final race of the evening. Hello, Madbad. Welcome to the stream. You've missed 2 races while you haven't been chatting to me. I thought you loved me. So we're just going to wait for the game to sync, which has happened the minute I said that. Wow. Here we go. And we're away. A good start from everyone up the front. Andrew Whitehead already having contact with McRae Williams, who gets out in front. Andrew Whitehead getting into P2. The 2 Celtic Bromance cars going side by side as we run down into Druids. There's contact between the Celtic Bromance cars. Rule 1 of motorsport, don't hit your teammate. Don't rear-end your teammate either. Kiki Mack stays off as JP McKinley also goes off. Looks like a bit of a lag punt on the side of Chris Callahan. He's completely off the track there, dropping down the order. Had a DNF last race, had a bad start in the first race. Looks like the trend might be continuing for him. Adam Bent, race 1 winner, fighting on the back of Matt Webb. Got a nice gap between himself and Carl Alden. 2 cars ahead to fight. Matt Webb and also Colin Dunn. David McKinley having got back on the road. Here is now a shift off overs back up front of the pack. Andrew Whitehead running P5 in a boosted motorsports BMW. Under attack from Colin Dunn down the straight. Looks like Dunn's going to get ahead, but he's going to have the outside line in the corner as there's contact. Andrew Whitehead goes a bit wide, pushes Colin Dunn onto the sand, allowing, I think that's Finley Swarbrick to get through. Or was it Matt Webb to get through? I think it was actually Matt Webb to get through. Adam Bent also having a go here into T1, having to cut the corner a little bit. Both drivers already having penalty by the look of it. 2 seconds and a second, respectively. Chris Callahan fighting Kiki Mack with Finley Swarbrick behind as well. Adam Bent very much pushing on the back of that BMW now. He's got a penalty again this race. He's going to have to make up for it as Andrew Whitehead defends into turn 4. Now he's going to have a straight line speed to go down the straight and overtake before the corner. Or is he going to have to sit back and just bide his time? Looks like he's not going to get the opportunity to overtake before turn 5. Nope, still staying behind. They've also got Matt Webb in front. Adam Bent having a look. Doesn't quite make it work. Didn't have an overlap there, so had to slow down a little bit more to allow Andrew Whitehead to not clatter himself out on the front of his car. Finley Swarbrick having gone ahead of Chris Callahan as well while we were watching that battle. Geeky Mac putting in the fastest lap of 1:30.3. Yeah, McRae Williams actually in first place. On number 56, Anime Machine. As everyone gets very sideways through T1. Geeky Mac getting extremely sideways. This is Brands Hatch, not a Subaru. Andrew Whitehead still under attack from Adam Bent. Behind that green, white and black Mercedes. Green, white and black Mercedes. Green, white and black Megane. I don't think there is actually any Mercedes around it. On the back of that BMW. That was a bit wide. Both drivers do have penalties. Adam Bent 2 seconds to Andrew Whitehead 2nd. Penalties. Someone goes round as well. That looks like Carl Alden has gone round up into T4. Not sure what happened there. He comes back on a bit dangerously ahead of Tobias Eriksson. Well, Andrew Whitehead going wide. Also Adam Bent going very wide now, being pushed from both sides between Andrew Whitehead and Colin Dunn. Geeky Mac now starting to attack McRae Williams as well. Geeky Mac having won race 2. Could he be going for a third race victory here in the third and final race, making it 2 out of 3 for him today? That should accelerate him past his teammate as well. JP McKinley, first place in the Drivers' Championship. That's kept Straw round there, nosing it into the wall a little bit more. JP McKinley having gotten lag pinged, I think, off of the side of Matt Webb into T3. Looks like there's some damage to the car. I'm not sure if that's going to... Ooh, as Alice Hughes goes round at the last corner there, almost taking off in front of JP McKinley's car even more. McRae Williams has been overtaken for the lead by Geeky Mac. He's going to obviously want to fight back for that. Finley Swarbrick now in a very good position to launch himself towards the 2 as well. Same with Chris Callahan. JP McKinley up to P13. He's going to have some more work to put in yet if he wants to defend his championship as much as he can. Oh, Alden fighting against Tobias Eriksson. Megane versus Megane. I think the Megane is the most popular car on the grid. Until a certain Astrodice. Because Tobias Eriksson goes off the track, giving the position quite easily to Carl Alden there. Adam Bent down in P8, Colin Dunn P7, Andrew Whitehead P6. And it also looks like Colin Dunn is going to start attacking Andrew Whitehead here. T1 drops back. Is he going to try and go for the undercut? Yes, he is. Is he going to make the drag race work down into Druids? We're going to find out. No. Andrew Whitehead stays ahead. This time round, the move that Colin Dunn looked like he was trying to do was go in at a wider angle, take the apex and stick it inside for a run down to Druids, but looks like that BMW just was able to carry more speed through the corner. Ray Williams still chasing the back of Geeky Mac. Under a second separate the two, but also under a second separate himself from Finley Swarbrick in P3. So, cutting back to the action, Finley Swarbrick while we're away, now very much on the back of McRae Williams. McGann versus McGann. Been pushed from behind, seems to have also shut up the gap between the three drivers and Kiki Mack as well. The penalties being 2 seconds to Kiki Mack, 4 seconds to Finley Swarbrick, 4 seconds to McRae Williams, 3 seconds to Finley Swarbrick. Chris Callahan also 3 seconds, with Matt Webb not having a penalty whatsoever yet. Here we go, down into the first corner. 3 cars, Kiki Mack getting sideways, defending the inside. The gap widens, but it will start to compress again as they go up into Druids. A lock up there, I think, from McRae Williams. T4. Here is a battle for P5 as well. Colin Dunn on the back of Matt Webb. McGann versus McGann. Half a second separating the two. Adam Viper on the back of Trev Hummer. BMW versus BMW. The BMW seemed to be a very mixed bag this week, this race weekend as well. Not having. There obviously being some good performances prior to BMW cars, but I think there's also been a bit of bad luck as well. Happening as Trev Hummer defends. Yeah, speaking about that, McRae Williams has spun. Yes. Was he preparing a pitch maneuver? So Finley Swarbrick now being promoted into second place, being able to unleash himself onto the back of Kiki Mack. Is he going to deny Kiki Mack a second race win tonight? Possibility. Kevin Dunn very much up the exhaust pipe of Matt Webb. I think he had to slow down a little bit more than he wanted to as well into Druids. Looked like it anyway. Both cars seem to get an equally similar line through turn 3 as they run up to turn 4. Looked like there was a little bit of unease there from Matt Webb's car. Andrew Whitehead as well, slowly gaining behind as now they run down the straight. Is Colin Dunn going to get the move done? He's going to get the outside line into this corner. Not an awful line to have here as he makes the move stick quite well, but is Matt Webb going to be looking again? It's going to be very tight between these two, I think. They've been pushing each other for the past few laps. We've got 3 minutes remaining. The race has just flown by, this one. This is the last race of the night as well, and it's absolutely flown by. Finley Swarbrick being a second behind Kiki Mack as well. There's still time for that lad to actually prioritise pounce on any mistake that Kiki Mack may make to come through for a race win. As the penalties go, they are also very even Stevens right now. So their racing is actually to be done on the track instead of through the penalties. 2 drivers not having penalties at the minute, Colin Dunn and JP McKinley. Everyone else has penalties. Alright, back to the battle. Matt Webb and Colin Dunn. Matt Webb having a penalty of 2 seconds. Oh no, Colin Dunn's just got a penalty. JP McKinley is the only driver without a penalty now. I don't know if I should be laughing or crying. One thing I do know about Cars 2 is it's very, very quick on the penalties, so, yeah, I think that's going to be the bane for some drivers. Adam Bent having a 7-second penalty as well. That's going to mean Adam Viper's going to move up quite nicely. And there's a fight down there as well. Oh, Adam Bent on the back of Andrew Whitehead. Not fighting the battle. And yeah, here is one that seems to be hotting up though. Carl Alden on the back of Adam Viper. Number 9 McGann versus the number 12 BMW. Both drivers seeming to just sail past the apex. That corner as we head into the on-camber left-hander, or as I like to call it, make sure you like understeer. It's true, all you do is understeer. Matt Webb and Colin Dunn still fighting each other. This looks like it's going to be the last lap. Where is JP McKinley? Not JP McKinley, sorry, Kiki Mack. Yep, this very much does look like it is going to be the last lap. "25 seconds remaining on the clock, so this is it, the last lap. Matt Webb on the back of Colin Dunn. Finley Swarbrick now being almost 3 seconds behind Kiki Mack, so it looks like Kiki Mack is going to be taking it 2 for 2. Trey Williams dropped down to P11 after qualifying in second. Not a race he'll want to be remembering. As Kiki Mack comes round the last corner, as he comes down the start and finish line to take the checkered flag on race 3, his second win of tonight, with Finley Swarbrick coming through in P2. Callahan going through P3. Is he going to be promoted to P2? No, he's not. Colin Dunn P4 with Matt Webb P5. And they stay the same. Andrew Whitehead going through P6. Adam Bent P7. Adam Viper still has Carl Alden on the back. This might mean Carl Alden gets promoted. It does not. Carl Alden and Adam Viper stay 8 and 9. Trev Hummer P10. McRae Williams P11. JP McKinley, current championship leader. I don't think he's going to be for the drivers' standings now. Comes through P12 with Tobias Eriksson 13th. Alice Hughes 14th, and Kev Straw will be rounding off the grid in P15. So, the end of the racing for the evening. We'll see if any drivers want to jump in and have a chat with me. I'm going to quickly grab my my race results up on my phone while we wait. So, oh, what a night of racing that was. The first race being a rain race. Apparently it was going to go from overcast, clear to overcast to light rain to overcast, and mix of strategies. Some drivers going on to wets, some drivers going on to dries, and here we have many people jumping in. So, as he won the third race, we'll start with you, Kiki. Again, was it just good start? Everything went your way?
Yeah, got lucky in turn 2 where there was a bit of a argy-bargy going on. Then after that, it was just a case of, well, I picked up a penalty actually on the first lap, which really sucked. But luckily everyone else in the top 6 did as well. So it was just a case of get past McRae and then take it to the end.
In the end, yeah. Yeah, that's very...
Finley had a good race. Like, he was still pushing me. It's not like I was holding back at all, but Finley pushed me to the end at least.
Yeah, exactly. I did go into battle. It seemed the gap extended towards the end, which obviously must have made things a bit more comfortable as opposed to him being on the bumper.
When Finley went wide on the last 2 laps, I think it was. So on the very last lap, I was like, I'm taking this steady. I'm not pushing hard on this last lap and risking another penalty to lose it. So the last lap, I took very steady round.
And I'll come to your teammate in a minute, but I'm guessing this will mean if everything is fine, you'll be taking the lead in the driver's standings as well.
Possibly. I haven't worked it out yet, but obviously he's going to have to drop basically all this weekend, I think, in terms of his position finishes. May have to take the 7th, which is going to really damage his points at the moment. I saw in the rearview mirror him just go careening off on turn 3, which you don't want to see. Like, he's still my teammate. Even if I want to win, he's still my teammate. I don't want him to get punted off like that.
Exactly. Well, thank you for that, Kiki, mate. Finley, you finished in P2, your highest finish this weekend, I think.
Yes, it was. Yeah, I got P3 in race 1. I can't even remember where I finished race 2. It's like 14th. That a shocker. And then P2 race 3.
And you're on the back of Kiki for most of that race, actually. Yeah, do you think if you didn't make any mistakes in the last 2 laps that you could have had him?
I don't know. He's bloody quick, isn't he? I think for the first part, when it was Kiki, McRae, and myself running round, I was happy to just stay where we were. There was one lap I had a really nice run on McRae, but I knew with the time penalties, it just wasn't worth me trying to push anything. I was already going to gain the place. I was happy just taking second. I don't know what happened. I think McRae spun in sector 3. And then I was like, maybe I can challenge Kiki here. And I honestly don't know where it came from. All weekend, I'd been really struggling in pace. I was doing 131s constantly. But in race 3, I think I've pipped fastest lap in the AMS.
Always a good achievement getting the fastest lap in the race. Especially seeing there's a lot of drivers, I think, actually beat their quali time in the race as well.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, the race pace was much quicker in race 3.
Yeah, everyone's pushing each other. So thank you for that, Finlay. I'm sort of out of questions. I should really start writing like pre-made questions. Chris Callahan, P3, you're back again.
Yeah, sorry.
Anything eventful for you this race?
Yeah, I think Druids was eventful. I don't think I made any of the contact. I've just gone into the race replay now, and it looks a bit sort of what we call net coding, a bit glitchy and a bit weird. But a few of us sit and review each night after the race and see what's going on. So we'll have a look then as well. But yeah, qualifying was awful. Just kept invalidating and just hope for just to make that up in the race, which I eventually did. I was looking at 4th, I think, but then, like Finney said, McCarry spun and just keep it clean. And yes, I picked up some penalties, but not enough to get demoted. So yeah, not a bad night at all, really.
Yep, 2 podiums. Always a good thing to walk away with, especially for the Drivers' Championship standings as well.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I've beaten Mr. Whitehead, who is below me in the standings. So that always helps as well, but we'll see after all the reviews and things.
Awesome, thank you. And on to JP McKinley. Yeah, what happened? Did you get a bit neck coded? I think it looked like.
I don't know. The whole 3 races have just been a disaster, a big disaster. I knew this was going to be like a damage limitation weekend, but that's a lot of damage in every way. Even to the championship points and to the car. Like the first race got taken out turn 1. I don't even know who it was. I need to check the replay to see who it was. The second race didn't even get to take part. The wheel disconnected before the race started, and then that race turn 3 just I don't know what happened. Didn't even get to see what happened, but I just remember going off onto the grass and then again being last, and then I think it was one of the Cooper who spun a few laps later and was across the road, and I ended up hitting them, and then I got like 30 something damage and suspension damage and like a load of engine damage, and it just wasn't a fun race.
2 weekends from the end as well. Are you going to have to now push, obviously, to catch Kiki in the Drivers' Championship?
Well, I'm not going to make it easy for him.
Do you ever?
It's a shame because I put a bit of practice into this weekend because I knew that Brands Hatch wasn't a strong circuit, and I thought I could at least match Kiki in the dry, but I knew in the rain he was way quicker than me because from like practice that we did a few days ago. But it's disappointing. But this is racing, I guess. This is how it goes.
That's it,
But,
innit? Stuff can
yeah.
happen, and you just gotta make the best of it.
Yeah, there's still 6 races, plenty of time.
Plenty of
It'll
time,
make it-
plenty of
It'll make it more interesting.
A lot more points up for grabs as well. So
Here's hoping.
Oh, for sure. Last 6 races I think are going to be interesting. They come now, really. A lot of championships I've seen that have come to the last events. Everyone's pushing just so hard to actually make up whatever they can. And honestly, it makes for some very exciting racing.
Yeah, I can definitely see it going down to like the very last round of the very last race of the very last round with me and Kiki. It's going that way. I know I had a bit of a gap there, but I think them 3 races will be my worst 3 so far. So I think we will be pretty close now in points. So it'll be whatever the score is now. That's for you may forget about the drop rounds because I don't think me and Kiki will be wanting to drop anymore.
Okay, thank you for that, JP. And I think I'm going to call the broadcast there. So from me, everyone in the community of VRCC that hosts this, and the top 3 and JP McKinley from this round, goodbye.